Hello and welcome everybody. We have the Global Lab patch notes for August 7th, a bit delayed. Actually, I'm going to pull these over. I'm going to be starting real quick with adjustments to the bonus attack power and damage reduction values because this is going to be relevant throughout most of the patch notes. So we're going to start with the adjustments here. Bonus attack power and damage reduction gain amounts have been changed. So from 397 or higher, the bonus attack power increases by 2 every 2 points of displayed attack. So every 2 AP, you'll get 2 bonus. From the displayed defense of 481 or higher, bonus damage reduction increases by 1 for every 5 points. The amount of additional attack power gained per displayed AP applicable from 310 has also been changed. So from 401 attack power or higher, the monster additional attack power is increased by 16 for every 1 point of displayed. So here we can see the numbers massively scaling up. So 395, you're looking at 688 bonus, 397, 696 already. Going up all the way to 450, you're going to be looking at 1,528 monster damage bonus and 297 bonus AP. Then we also have a similar thing on the bonus damage reduction. 481 is going to start seeing at 91. It's going to remain like that for a while, but it will scale all the way up to 531 for 101. But yeah, with that, we're going to be jumping towards the top and going through the patch notes now. We have the Edania interior or attack, part 2 coming. The interior of Edania, Vessels of the Abyss. The continent is clearly divided into the outer regions, the domain of the demon kings who've received the share of the god's power, and the inner region. A quest has been added to open the Vessel of the Abyss in the Angabu outpost, which serves as a central village in this place, similar to Hakinza. You can enter the Angabu outpost inside Edania by completing the quest below from the Black Spirit, and 28 subquests have been added to be completed in the inner region. Main quest, which features the story set there, will be added in a future patch note. So here we see Magnus, another connection, and this will give us also a new inner well of the Abyss to Edania. You can travel to Edania from other territories through Magnus. Conditions for using the Well of the Inner Abyss: possess knowledge of Angabu outposts, and Vessel of the Abyss acquire the Angabu outpost knowledge. Then we have, says Tachyon's legacy, but I believe it's probably Agris, but it could be Tachyon. As you explore various parts, you can discover the legacy of Tachyon. You can obtain special rewards by discovering the Tachyon's legacy, and if you pass the test to obtain Adana's legacy, that's why I think it's not quite the right translation up here. After discovering the Tachyon's legacy, Agris gold coins you can obtain. The Agris gold coins feature a system where a new stage of an exchange list is unlocked once a certain amount of coined exchange is achieved. So here we can see the first 3-part Essence of Kharazad, Seal Black Magic Crystals, Cronstones, Sharp Black Crystal Fragments, Nostalgia, which is a bit weird, but yeah, 2 Nostalgia items, whatever those are, Fusion Crystals, and Nev Sculpture. We're going to be seeing those a lot later. Then you have Step 1, where it starts bringing in Twilight of the Apocalypse earrings and rings, and some other items. And this then expands further with more Nostalgia being added, Nev Sculptures. At Step 2 and Step 3, it'll have a 250 stack and still earrings and ring. We also have the throne bosses. The subjugation of the inner bosses has also been added. You must accept the weekly boss raid, pretty much the same as the others, and then you can enter with the equipment as long as it is red gear or higher, excluding your relics or alchemy stones, and you cannot ride the Tamer Pet High Long. Here we have the Temple of Agris, 405, 485, sheet, Marthanon's or Amissia's resistance, Marthanon, 410, 490, Elion sitting at 415, 495, and All, which ironically got translated as Ah, I'm so glad, has an AP of 420 and 505. The weekly boss hunts have also been added, so you can only challenge 1 boss per week, including bosses outside of Edania, and you can only accept and complete 1 of the weekly quests. So this will be replacing Kharazad if you're currently at Kharazad. After accepting the weekly quest, you can enter your own challenge space free from interference of adventurers, and then the boss subjugation will be available from Thursday, August 13th, or forward. Each Edania challenge token obtained as a reward for completing can only be used during the application period at the time of acquisition, so you still have the time-based thing. Weekly wise, we have the Agris dropping some 6 fragments of Edania, Twilight of the Apocalypse earrings, which we'll see later, Eating Spark armor, Fusion crystals, a piece of Nev, Campher's Essence still, perfumes of Envy and Tenacity, gold bar boxes, and 10 kg gold bars. There's also the chance for the Aperion earring, Primordial crystals, silent and distorted, and then obviously the challenge coin and the golden chest. Marktanon, it's pretty much the same thing. 6 fragments of Edania, but we see Twilight of the Apocalypse rings come in, the helmet, 2 fusion crystals, pretty much otherwise the same goodies, but again, earrings and rings on the Aperon chance. On the next one, Elion, we are seeing still 6, but here we start getting the belts, helmet, armor, and shoes on the Enix Spark, which again, we'll see a bit later. Same thing on the Aperon versions. And then we have the necklaces being added, 6 fragments, all 4 armor types, fusion crystals, still at 2, pieces of Neva 2, some more perfumes, and all types of Aperons. The Throne of Adana, you still have the same system. The selected Adana receives a challenge from all adventurers on Sundays. A new Adana is determined at that point as well. The one who becomes the final survivor and ascends to the throne will be granted the privileges. Crystal of the Dawn entry is restricted if you're equipped with a Crystal of Dawn other than all attack power, so you do need to switch to all AP stones. This setting applies equally to the Throne of Edania outside of the into the existing region. The crown awarded to the adventurer who ascends the inner throne will be delivered in the Angabu warehouse. Pretty much same thing, use the Adana token, gold, Moxu, white, crimson flame. Conditions for entering the showdown, you have 405, 485, 410, 490, 415, 495, and 420, 505. You can enter again when wearing equipments with items of grade red or higher, excluding your relics or alchemy stones. Benefits are sitting at 17 build base, 19, 19, and 23. The scroll prices are 110, 120, 130, 140 for the Marnie realms, and as such, you also have the tax of 3%, well, 0.3%, 0.35, 0.4, and 0.45. And you obviously also get the crown. Then we have the new hunting grounds. We have the Temple of Aphrodon, which is pretty much Agris. You have golden sacred trees imbued with the energy of Agris grew in the area. You're looking at a recommended sheet of 400 with a total AP of 2090, recommended DP of 470, 810 total. Here we have the new classification of top tier hunting ground. There is a mention later about the top tier hunting ground adjusting after this, but here we see Crystal Wandering Origin, which is the upgraded Adana stone, Silent Fragments still remaining, Enix Spark armor, Twilight of the Apocalypse earrings, which we'll see mentioned again a bit later, Aperon earrings, the new Debo equivalent, and the yellow pigment, Corrupted oil. Remnant of the Shattered Gold is... I could not find any mention throughout the entire patch notes what these are used for, so we still kind of have to wait for that one. Nev Sculpture, which I do have figured out where they're used, and the same thing for the fusion crystals. Branches imbued with abundance are at 155,127 silver, 127,000 silver, and you get some titles, obviously. The Agris consumed is going to sit at 14 for this zone. Then we have Mark the Non continuing with 405, 2,220, recommended defense of 485, 830. Talking about slaves, pretty much. Main loot, pretty much the same thing with the upgrade stone, or the stone upgraded inversion, Enix Spark Helmet, Aperon earrings, and rings. And we both get the Twilight of the Apocalypse earrings and ring. Yellow pigment still, otherwise all the same. Trash loot goes up to 160,539 silver coins. Again, titles. Agris consumption is a bit split, with one creature taking 25 and the other 2 types taking 15. Then we have the Temple of Magia, which is pretty much Elion, the solo spot. Looking at 410, 234, 2,340. Recommended DP of 490, 840. Everything's pretty much the same, except for the belt gets added into the drop table and the Enix Spark shoes. True Wandering Source Crystal, again, the upgrade of the previous zone. Remnants of the Broken White Knight still unknown. Nev Sculpture, Fusion Crystals, Silence are still in there. Twilight Pigments at yellow. The trash loot there is going to sit at 181,042. Again, some mobs. Here we have a lot of split. We have a lot of Sinners at 14 Agris, a lot of knights at 20, and then the priest at the end sitting at 252. This seems to be like a big boss spot. Then we have the Temple of a Region. Here we have, again, some new mobs added. Again, the upgraded crystal, Enix Spark gloves, and here we have the earring, ring, belt, and necklace, so pretty much all four in Aperon, and also the Twilight of the Apocalypse version. This is also where we see a Crimson Flame appear, again unknown, but we see the white pigments also start coming into here for the Sovereign and Adana armors, same thing for the pity versions, and otherwise still the same. 171,100 silver coins, again titles. Aggregate consumption is going to sit at 19 for most mobs. In the refined version it looks like 40. Then we have the 3-man party spot, the Scales of Judgment, again in the Elion region. We do see the same crystal as the all spot. We see gloves, all 4 pieces, the white and yellow pigments, so pretty much the same as the all spot. 186,458 silver coins. This spot is a little bit softer with 415 at 2,455 and 500 860, at least compared to all at 415, 2,455 and 495. So you see a little bit of an increase, but at the same time, a bit softer because you got 3 people grinding it. Aggregate consumption here is going to be at 23, and then the Big Priest 150 or 500 for Elion's Vengeance. Then we do see the Event Horizon Realm of Hadum at 420 with 2,570 total AP and 505 and 870. Again, we see the big crystal land here. I believe it looks to be the same one, but it could be a mistranslation. But we see all 4 Enix Sparks drop here, all 4 accessories, yellow and white pigments, so pretty much the full stack. Broken Void Gloves, 196,500 and 1,000. Otherwise, we see aggregate consumption sitting here at 27, 50, 100, 120. So again, most mobs 27, and I guess big spawns at 50, 100, and 120 respectively. That could be quite interesting. Weekly quests to defeat them will give you the Crystal of the Original Source and Fusion Crystal. This is pretty much across the board. It does upgrade the Pity Piece for the local stone as well. Then we have the new accessories, Akreda and Aperon. This is the big thing that most people are looking for. The Akreda is the one that goes from Kharazad, Nov, or Deck. You cannot trade it. It has high base stats, but low stat increase from Enhancement. And the fragments for Enhancement are dropped. Aperon instead, you grow by using other Aperon accessories. You can sell them. They have low base stats and then significantly increase later. Unreinforced Aperon accessories for the same piece. So here we can see the base at 43 compared to 24, but then at Tet they almost meet up again at 46 and 45. Less accuracy and less DP. Then at Oct 48, 48, they start meeting up, and at Deck they are equal still, so they do seem to be upgrading in equal towards the latter half. Overall, they do mention these stats in detail here. So here we can see the Akreda necklace go from 43 to 50, 29 accuracy to 41, damage reduction from 1 to 3, starting at 0, evasion going from 0 to 3, and 1 to 8 for the total. Overall, it follows the same thing across the board for all of the Aperons. You can definitely pause it if you would like to get the details. Otherwise, the detailed enhancement information for the Akreda accessories is a bit different. So the Akreda accessories use the Shard of Causality for the necklace, belt, ring, or earrings of the corresponding enhancement material. So that is going to be 4 different stones, it seems. Here we can see you can obtain them by heating the following. You need 10 causal shard stones at once by you can mass process them with blackstone powder, but here we can see one of the following ingredients. You need 5 necklaces, earrings, rings, or belts, respectively. You can't seem to mix and match them. You need it for the matching item you want to tap. 10 Kaphra stones, 10 magic fragments, and 10 essences of dawn. The durability decreases by 20 upon an enhancement failure, and the creator's name is displayed in the item description upon a successful enhancement at all stages. So if you have an old one, you'll be able to get your name on it. Bit of a thing, but yeah, whatever. Here we can see the basic probability sitting at 1.83 at 140 stack. Overall, it doesn't seem too bad. It's almost like the Agris. The Cronstones start very low at 290, 590, 960, 1150. It goes up towards the end though, with up to 3130, but it should be fine. The enhancement material, the Twilight of the Apocalypse, can, however, be traded, so the taps can be traded, but not the accessory itself. The upper limit's going to sit at 550 million, and the lower limit at 450 million. The detailed enhancement information for the Aperon accessories, they use one unenhanced Aperon accessory of the same type as well. So you need to use the Aperon version that matches, and then 10 Caphras and 10 magic fragments. Actually, why does it say 10? That is a bit off. It says ingredient 1. Okay, that seems a bit weird. The enhancement level decreases upon a failure. So this is a big thing. It is kind of like Kharazad. You can use Cronstones to stop this. Overall, it's a bit like a mixture of a Debo and a Kharazad. When enhancement to level 3 or try or higher is successful, the creator's name will be displayed in the item description. Here we can see 240, 250 stack. I mean, here you're looking at a lot of bigger stacks, especially early on, and the Cronstone costs are starting immediately at 2160 from Pry onwards. So definitely a big step up compared to the Accreta version, but you do have the stacks also starting lower, and the probability actually looks pretty much the same. I mean, 27 going down to 6.4, 22 to 7.5. So you do have it a bit easier on the back end of it, but you are paying across the board. This could be viable for some people, but you're going to have to see. The Aperon accessories themselves can be sold on the market. Here we can see starting price 5 bill for base, a lower limit of 4.5. That is quite high. Sorry, starting price 5 bill, upper limit 5.5. Then it goes up quite a lot, 35, 31, 38, going all the way up to 930 billion at the starting price, going up to 1.02 trillion, 835 at min. These are really high numbers, but considering the crons invested, kind of valid. I don't expect these to go on market very quickly. You might get one or two at the lower levels, but at the lower levels, they are still behind the other accessories. The Accreta Accessory Exchange quest, if you have a Nalver deck, you can then exchange it. You go to Clorin inside the new village of Angabu Outpost. If you complete the prerequisite, Light of the Sleeping Pattern through the prerequisite quest, Accreta's Accessory Clorin's Experiment, you can proceed with the exchange. You can then exchange them freely. If you abandon the quest, after handing over the accessory, you cannot retrieve the item, so do be careful of this. Improvements and the extraction of Accreta and Aperon accessories. So overall, these stones are going to be the same stones we have on the Kharazad right now. You pretty much use the same ones. Nothing too crazy. Pull them out, exchange them, and then put them back in. Same thing for the extraction again, for the Essence of Refined Emotion to pull them back out if you want to split them. Then we have a new appearance, Weapon of Mass Destruction. This is a new sort of Orze armor, or Zekia armor. A quest to craft it, but forged by gathering the Karma or the Enix Sparks. The armor of the God of Destruction is equipped and imbued with the Enix, possessing the courage to defy fate. You can accept the quest for the Weapon of Annihilation from the fragment of the Enix in the Ancient Prophecy, a cave near the Shining Land. If you want to accept the quest, you must have at least one Enix Spark. You collect 100, and it will then give you the box. After exchanging for the Weapon of Destruction, if you obtain the additional sparks, you can then acquire the costume through the NPC exchange. After acquiring all parts of the Godslayer's weapon, if you talk to the fragment of the Enix, the title Godslayer you will be able to get. If you also wish to return an item to its original box, you can visit Rafi Bed Mountain at the Ankabu Outpost, and after accepting a quest, you can repeatedly accept the quest from Bakura, the blacksmith, there as well. You can purchase Aureli's Decision with silver coins from the material at Ankabu as well. And here we see the order of acceptance. You need to possess the armor and 2 Aurelie crystals, and then you pretty much get the items, well, the box back, but not the money. Then you have the new magic crystals, or Edania crystals, as we got mentioned. So here we have the Crystal Wandering Origin starting at plus 90 Edania and plus 20 monster damage reduction. The plus 20 monster damage reduction sits on all of them, but the Edania AP goes up 90, 120, 150, 180 for the final one. We also see, obviously, the Pity version using 100 again, Kaphra Stone's Magic Fragments. Nothing crazy there. You can't put them on the Integrated Exchange, but you can sell them for NPCs for 1.2, 1.5, 1.7, and 2 billion respectively. There is also the Fused Extermination Crystal. This uses, as we kind of gets, the Fusion Crystals, also the Brutal Decimation Crystal, Kaphra Stones, Magical Lightstone Crystals, and Blackstones. You can get 2 of these. Upper limit, these can be sold for 3 billion at the upper limit, lower limit of 300 million. Pretty much it's plus 3 monster AP and plus 0.5 back attack damage. Then we have Refinement Stone Enhancement, or Reforge Stone, actually. Strong Reforge Stones, which have even more powerful effects than the existing ones, have been added. So if you have 5 of the same type, for example, all attack power, use 30 pieces of Nev, we saw them mentioned above, Kaphra Stones, Magic Fragments, and Magical Lightstone Crystals, and you get a refined version. You can then slot that in. Nev Fragments can be sold on the central market for 50 million and at the upper limit, and 12.5 million at the lower limit. Then we also have the mention of the Magahan's artifact, the new life artifact. Upper limit 10 billion, lower limit 2.5 billion. It pretty much has a big selection, 25 mastery, 15% life XP, and then a bunch of other artifacts combined. You need 100 fragments of Magahan, 100 pure magnetite crystals, and 100 pure marble. The Magahan's fragment you can get by either giving 200 magical radiance stone crystals for 1 shard, or 20 sharp black crystal shards for 1. You can also purchase these through the central market at 100 million or 40 million silver. Pure marble and pure magnetite crystals can be obtained below. So here we can see the marble pretty much being raw marble turned into polished marble using grinding, and then processing with the metal solvent to get the pure marble. Same thing for the pure magnetite crystals. We see magnetite ore going from molten magnetite fragment, the ingot, and then you turn it with the metal solvent into the crystal. The raw materials and some processed products of marble and magnetite can also be used for the following purposes. So marble ore and the processed marble into boxes. Same thing for the magnetite ore and ingots. Then we have some more interior life content. So Edania Inner, we see some zones being added. Again, some crystals. Olivine Raw Stone is one of the highlights here. We see that mentioned later as well. Raw marble, magnetite ore being another highlight. Otherwise, we have Elder Tree logs, Kaphra's Wood logs again, Tuya logs as well. The following residential areas, we also have a few residentials being added, which pretty much warehouses or accommodations. Then we also have mineral processing plant for the magnetite ore box, ingot box, marble gemstone box, and marble box respectively. We see 2 new types of freshwater treasure fish being added. I'm pretty sure this is a mistranslation. The Florida for 216 bill, 216.7 mil, and the Cano Toadmeat for 170.3 mil. Then we have the Edania as well, some more following items. We see some more Kaphra trees, spirit-laden Kaphra trees, elder trees, shrub, wild medicinal herbs, bush, rock, which include vanadium and titanium, basalt and marble. These are the ones that are more interesting. The basalt has the magnetite ore and olivine and Magahan's fragments, so you can also get them that way. Kind of odd they didn't get mentioned up here, but it's nice to know that you can get them there. You can also get the raw marble and the fragments of Magahan at the marble. So here, marble you can see in these squares, and here you can see basalt. Kaphra trees possessed by spirits reappear with 3.5 times faster than regular trees now, and the respawn time of cedar trees or Tuya trees. I think these are snowfield cedar trees in the Ailton region have also been changed to 3.5 times faster. Items that can be obtained commonly during gathering, fairy dust, fairy breath, can be acquired in the same way. New buff items, Perfume of Greenery and Elixir of Azure. I'm pretty sure these are not going to be the end names, but here we can see the Traits of Nature. Not quite sure what the Cheongcho is. Clear Liquid Reagent, Oil of Serenity, that is one of the oils. Magic Infused Olivine Powder. This is the Olivine above. You can also get this by using a Perfume of Swiftness with the Magic Infused Olivine Powder, Shining Powder. Upper limit 40 and 10 mil. We also see the Magic Olivine here in a moment. The Chungrum Elixir is going to be a little bit different. You have the 3 Elixir of Prophecy, Time, and 1 Tear of the Old Moon, and 10 Magic Olivine Powder. Upper limit of 10 and 2.5 on the lower. This pretty much gives you a 50, 250, and here we have the Lifeskill. It's kind of a perfume and draught. The magic infused Olivine powder can be obtained, so you need to use the Olivine Raw Stone with a pure powder reagent in grinding at a 1-to-1 ratio, and you will obtain 4 to 6 of them, so it's not that bad to get. The prices of various materials will also be added, so raw marble at 590 lower limit, 10 million upper. Same thing for the magnetite ore. The fragments and processed marble are going to be a bit different. 2.35 for the molten magnetite and 35 on the upper. Processed marble at 15.8 and 240. Magnetite ingot is going to sit at that point though. Pure marble is going to go up to 65,000 and 950. Pure magnetite crystal as well. Olivine raw stone is going to sit at 750,000 to 3 million, and the magic infused version or the powder 150,000 to 600,000. Overall, a lot of stuff to go through. Then we have some changes on the class modifications. The expression for special damage increase effects such as critical back, air, down attack have been changed to additional attack increase plus N% to match the expression displayed in the stat window. They also fixed an issue where HP, MP, Divine Fighting Spirit Recovery from Solar Spear were applied faster than before. Warrior, they fixed an issue where the Gale skill would activate first even if the control keys for the Strong Blooming skill were entered after Whirlwind Slash. Witch Wizard, they fixed an issue where the animation for the Black Spirit Strength Meteor Shower focus skill did not match the actual attack range. Sage, Black Spirit, they fixed an issue where attacks will intermittently fail to activate when using a Taurus Dojo skill, or Cage, I believe. Nova, there was an issue with the description of the number of times pain damage is stated in the skill description for the King of the Dead. Wusa, I believe, Dark Cloud has been fixed in the issue where the Lightning Strike would activate even if Dark Cloud skill had not been cast, or if the Dark Cloud generated by the Strong Dark Cloud had already disappeared. And Dark Cloud has been modified so that the Strong Dark Cloud continues to attack even when linked with Sweeping Wind skill. Then we have the adjustments again. We're just going to go past them since we put them at the top. Then we have the character max level setting. So to make leveling more meaningful, part of the progression, they are introducing a cap. Going forward, the 75 cap will be a thing, but they are first doing it in part 1 up to 70. And then in October, they will put the 75 cap. The maximum level a character can achieve will be set to 70. You will no longer gain combat experience upon reaching the maximum level you can grow. The maximum level is scheduled to be further expanded later on. With the expansion to 75, the overall experience point acquisition and level up structure will also be revamped, so that will not happen until that point. During the regular maintenance, August 12th or 13th, the following titles will be awarded to adventurers who achieve level 70 or higher. So apparently no titles for 70 and below, or 69 and below. After all, we see Pioneers of Great Area, the Marvelous Pioneer, and the One and Only Pioneer. Important notes on setting the character max level. Once you reach the maximum growth level, you will no longer gain combat XP. Accordingly, they do want to note that when acquiring accumulated experience points through the character tag function, experience points obtained in excess of the maximum growth level will not be acquired. Adventurers who've accumulated points exceeding level 70 are advised to use the experience point acquisition function to claim their points prior to the official server update. Even at level 70 and above, death penalties such as crystal destruction and experience point reduction are applied the same way as before, and experience points lost to death penalties can be restored using items using Fairy's Tear or Alien Tears just as before. Then we have the other thing, extraction of the pigments or primordial pigments. With the new colors being added, they are giving us an extraction without limit and no additional resources are consumed. Equipment that already has effects died with the pigment have been changed so that the pigment must be extracted before dyeing a new effect. That is still the case. You can now pretty much get the Genesis, so that Genesis Radiance and pigment items can be sold at NPC shop. So you can also sell the pigments and the full items for 50 million silver or 5 billion silver, respectively. The item description has also been changed so that the pigment extraction function has been added and is now available for sale in the shop. With the addition of this function, if you have sold one or destroyed one to change your pigment, they will give it back to you. The Old Moon NPCs have been changed so they no longer sell purification pigment. So these are being removed. Nothing too crazy there. Monsters wise, guild bosses that can only be defeated by spending 25,000 guild points, Gumiho and Duoskini will be added. You can earn 10,000 upon defeating the bosses. These are a combined boss. This boss can be summoned once a week. It summons near Western Guard Camp, and they appear simultaneously. If you defeat both of them, a treasure chest will also appear, and you can obtain a reward by destroying the treasure chest as well. Overall, the main rewards, we see Valk's Advice, 50 to 100. The Rebellious, Black Spirit Crystal, Wagon Crystal, and Volterra, as usual. Gold bars, more gold bars depending on... I believe that's the size of the attack. I think level 4, 3, 2, and 4, 3, 2, 1. I believe that would be it, or it's the guild size. They also fixed an issue where the explanation regarding summoning authority was unnatural, so they will be adjusting that as well. There was also the notice about the removal of top-tier hunting ground tags for some hunting zones. So with the release of the new hunting zones, the following changes will be applied. 2 weeks after the internal update, the top-tier hunting ground tag will be removed, and the loot included in the top tier, which does not seem to be the pigments after all, but pretty much the immortal oils, they will be moving. Some hunting grounds within the interior will also have their top-tier hunting ground removed over time. So we do see that happening. After all, loot obtainable from the hunting grounds tagged with the highest tier have been added. So Twilight of the Pigment of Creation, Edania, and the other one. Then we have a small thing. Boss defeat conditions are being eased further on the Hyper Boost. So it's been changed so you can proceed with the boss fight against the 8 generals and above without having knowledge for the boss. And it's been changed so that when defeating the boss, you can sense the remaining HP even without the boss knowledge. The field boss Black Shadow has been fixed, so it is no longer summoned in the field boss. It now seems to be spawning at the Amnesia Forest. You can meet the flying minions of Markthanon. UI-wise, the list in the world map shortcut settings that appears when you press the gear button at the bottom right has been improved. Rose War, or War of the Roads UI has been improved to display the current guild's battlefield score, and the ability to assign a shortcut to the minor combat analyzer has been added. System-wise, the time required to return after an absence from the guild has been changed from 4 hours to 15 days. The support for the Windows 7 operating system and Direct X9 will also end. That is quite a big thing for some people. Once support ends, the game will not be playable on Windows 7 or Direct X9 or lower environments. So this is a big thing for some people out there. And then finally, fixes and changes. Striker and Mystic, they fixed an issue where the missing quest was displayed and uncompleted in the UI. Even after completion, they fixed an issue where exclusive dialogue was not displayed when progressing through Land of Morning Light missing quests. They fixed an issue where the aiming reticle would become active on the summoned Shy character when playing music. Then an issue preventing the central marketplace in the Black Desert Research Lab. Then they fixed an issue where the first mate Trend and Underfoe was unable to perform automatic ship repairs in some situations. Then they fixed a gimmick required to be triggered after defeating Beelzebub in Sephiroth would intermittently fail to work. Then they fixed an issue where the fortress and auxiliary buildings could be built at the All's Revelation base before the start of base battles. Then they fixed an issue where Alliance members were not being displayed messages regarding the installation. The font size of the guild score and the guild skill tab has been adjusted. Then they fixed some issues where they buff items intended for party squad guild members were not applied to the user when used within a residence. They fixed an issue where the name of a specific base was not displayed when the family character moved there. The issue where the stones and trees were awkwardly placed in specific areas in Balanos and the War God Festival has been fixed. The description of the ancient sleeping armor has been updated, or slumbering god armor has been updated so that they cannot be crafted while in an enhanced state. Fixed an issue with the river water would appear when drawing water in parts of the Land of the Morning Light or Arhaza village coastline. Then they fixed some issues with Guild War refusal option was still visible in the game settings. Fixed some issues where guild reputation was not obtainable when defeating Khan during guild boss raids. Fixed some issues when the Mighty Combat Analyzer small window widget would go off screen. Then an issue where the size of the Underwater Palace icon in the notification message appeared when acquiring the knowledge was awkward. Then they fixed some awkward messages in the claiming of the special pass. Exploration regarding summoning authority being unnatural in guild bosses. Stabilization work for the YAR matchmaking system. And then finally, 3 pad mode fixes, one in the world map appearing identical to the shape-wise when viewing family characters. Then they fixed an issue with the guild reputation related features could not be used, and one where the quick shortcut descriptions for the start and reset buttons for the combat analyzer were not displayed. It was a big one TLDR wise, definitely a lot. We're gonna have to see the details. The new 2 bosses seem nice, especially putting them together. Being able to swap out pigments, absolutely great. The level 70 titles, okay, great. Sad we're not getting anything from 60 to 69 after all. The new caps, definitely needed, but very nice to hear. Otherwise, we have some new materials coming in, some new life potions, as mentioned, really great. Absolutely loving that. Also loving that you can get most of it by life skilling. Definitely a great thing that because you're going to need a lot of them. The new Edania stones look decent. The brutal decimation upgrade also very decent. The new armor, it's a nice way of doing it. You get them from the bosses. You also get them from grinding. A nice way of handling it. Otherwise, being able to sell a lot of stuff, definitely looking good. The Aperion do seem a bit iffy on the Cronstone costs, but then again, it is a sellable version, so, and with these prices, I do feel hopeful. If you already have your Kharazads at Nalver deck, I think the other version might be the better version, even though you will need to buy a lot of the Twilights if you don't drop them yourself. So it is a different option, but with the taps being sellable, it is an interesting thing. Still, otherwise the zones look nice. Nothing of note here. I do like the progression between the zones. Still, it's one of the best features. The Edania bosses also look nice. I like the fact that it's 6 fragments of Edania. It means you can actually choose the one you want. So if you want to go for Eleon because you're working on necklaces, all because you're working on necklaces, but then want to downgrade back to Markthanon for the rings, it is definitely an option. I do like that that is an option. Otherwise, overall, it looks like a great patch, and hopefully I'll see you around.